Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you are doing okay today. So our video this week, and what we're going to be learning about this week and probably next week as well, is characters and challenges. Characters and challenges. And our I can statements this week are: I can describe how characters in a story respond to major events and challenges. I can tell what the problem or challenge was in the story. I can tell how the characters felt, what they did, and what they said when a problem happened. So we talked about our story elements, and one of our story elements was our characters. And characters are our who. They're the people or animals that are in the story. And challenges is just another word for problems. So I want you to practice using both of those words when you're talking about the problem in the story, okay? So if I say challenge, what I mean is the problem. So challenge and problem are the same thing when I'm saying it out loud. And it is something that happens, and the characters have to fix it or overcome it. Sometimes more than one challenge or more than one problem will happen in a story. So we're looking at the characters and the problems or the challenges that they face. So how can we tell how a character reacts or responds to a problem? We can look at their feelings, what they do, and what they say. So their feelings, characters have feelings just like we do. We can look at how they are feeling by thinking about how we would feel in their situation, by looking for clues in the text. So we can look at pictures. We can look at details. So for example, if I have a picture of a character and they're smiling really, really big, and it looks like they're jumping up in the air, how are they probably feeling? Probably really excited or happy. So I can look at pictures to help me and what the book says, what the story says. Characters also, I need to go back. Characters also do things. They do different things depending on how they're feeling or what happens. So if something really bad happened to Miss Hay, I'm going to act differently than if something really good happens to me. So I might act differently if I'm angry or if I'm sad. I'm going to act differently based on how I'm feeling. So we can talk about how they feel and what they do. Then you can also look at what they say. What they say gives a lot of clues as to how they're feeling and what they're going to do and why they're doing what they're doing. All right. I love that you all can tell me if a character's feeling happy or sad or angry. But I want you all to kind of stay away from those words because those words are really simple words, and we're in second grade now, so we can use some better words than just happy. So I put some other words that mean almost the same thing as happy. Some of these mean a little bit differently depending on the situation. But instead of saying happy, we could say delighted, excited, glad, satisfied, thankful, terrific. If somebody they did something that they're proud of, they could feel confident. They could feel proud. If they're feeling cheerful, if they're happy. So all of those words, try to use a different word today and in small group this week when we're talking about characters' feelings. Try to use a different word other than just happy. Happy is a good word, and I'm glad if you're happy, but try to use a different word. The same thing for sad. You can be miserable, unhappy, hurt, discouraged, awful. I hope you're never feeling this way, boys and girls, but we all feel sad sometimes. Gloomy, that's a great word. Try to use a different word other than just sad, okay? For angry, you can be mad, irritated, furious, frustrated. Miss Hay uses the word frustrated a lot. Annoyed, mean. All of those words mean the same thing, about the same thing as angry. All right, and some of these other feelings that we've talked about, you can be confused, curious, jealous, scared, shy, worried. We talked about worried when we read our story a couple weeks ago. So those are some feelings. I want you to be thinking about some different words you could use other than just happy, sad, angry. Okay, let's up our vocabulary and use those bigger words. All right, I'm going to read a story to you, and while we're reading, I want you to think, what is the problem? What does the character say? What does the character do? And how does the character feel? I'm going to make me bigger so that you can see me. we go. All right, so I'm going to be reading a story today called The Boy with the Pink Hair. He was born, I'm going to start over. He was born that way, the boy with the pink hair. His parents were startled when the doctor handed him over, born with shockingly bright, beautiful pink hair, not like his mom's, whose color was red, or Dad's, whose color was chocolate. The boy with pink hair had a cotton candy mop, a head of hair unlike anything anyone had ever seen before. Tests were done. The results came in. He was just born that way. A special boy, different from the rest. And you can see even the doctor, he's kind of shrugging his shoulders. He's like, we don't know. And he's scratching his head over here. He's like, I'm not sure. But life wasn't easy for a boy with pink hair. Some people would stare. Others would laugh. And every once in a while, someone would say something like, wow, pink, or, can I eat his hair? But the boy with pink hair was happy. His family loved him, and he loved them. And there was also something else that he loved. The boy with pink hair loved to cook. At first he started off by just playing with his food, but soon he was inventing his own creations, usually using his very favorite color. For his birthday, his mom and dad built him a special treehouse with a little kitchen of its own. They encouraged his hobby and didn't pester him to play games that he didn't like. One day his parents sat him down and told him that he would be starting elementary school. Some people might want to make fun of you, but don't listen to them, said his mother. One day you will find that your difference makes a difference. That night the boy with pink hair had a wonderful dream. He dreamed of a school where everyone had different colored hair. All together, it looked like a rainbow. The next morning at school, his parents gave him a kiss goodbye, and the boy with pink hair entered his new classroom. Everyone stopped. No one spoke. As he slowly made his way to his seat, a boy with a bad attitude smiled and yelled out, pink hair, you look really weird, weird. I don't think that's very nice, boys and girls. The boy with pink hair suddenly felt very alone in his chair. But then a girl with ponytails tapped him on the shoulder. Don't listen to him, she whispered. Here, have this. It's my favorite. It was a piece of bubble gum, and it looked just like his hair. Pink is my favorite color, she told him. The next day after school, the boy with pink hair and his new friend went to his very special treehouse. He'd never invited another kid up there before. You have a kitchen up here? This is so cool, said the girl with ponytails. Do you like to play restaurant? The boy with pink hair smiled. He started to rummage through his cabinets and his cooking tools, making a mess but whipping up a super extra yummy dish for his new friend. Surprise, he said as he presented a delicious pink marshmallow sandwich with pink potato chips. Oh, wow, said his new friend. Wow, wow, wow. The next day was a special day at school. All the parents were invited to meet the teachers and help the children get off to a fine new school year. When lunchtime came, the students and their parents went to the cafeteria for a big group lunch. But there was a problem. The stove was not working. Oh no, said the principal. What are we going to do? We were going to have spaghetti, but that won't quite work now. The girl with ponytail spoke up. I know someone who can make some great food really quickly and easily. How do you think the principal's feeling right here? Oops, sorry. She looks really worried. As she pointed every head, sorry boys and girls. As she pointed, every head in the room turned to the boy with pink hair. Oh no, not the pink weirdo, said the boy with the bad attitude. That's enough, said the principal to the boy with the bad attitude. She smiled at the boy with pink hair and asked, Want to give it a try? The boy with pink hair was a little nervous, but said, "Okay, I'll try. I've never made anything for this many people. I could use a little help." So the boy with pink hair and his friend, the girl with ponytails, went into the kitchen, followed by a whole bunch of curious kids. The principal looked at the boy with the bad attitude and said, "Don't you think that you might want to help as well?" The boy with the bad attitude sighed, but he followed too. Before long, the boy with the pink hair had the whole place buzzing. There were all sorts of things to be done. Everyone was helping. They were blending, mixing, rolling, pouring, spreading, stirring, and they were all having a great time, even the boy, who now had a better attitude. When they were done, the girl with ponytails led the way as they carried out trays and trays of yummy pink food. There were pink sandwiches, pink pudding, and there was even pink lemonade. That sounds really good to me right now, boys and girls, pink lemonade. After everyone had their fill, the boy with a pretty good attitude came up to the boy with pink hair. He was holding the hand of a very important-looking man. "Dad," said the boy, "this is my friend, the one I was telling you about." The boy with pink hair and the girl with ponytails looked at each other in wonder. "Hello, young man," said the important-looking man. "Your food is delicious and unique. I own a group of restaurants, and with your permission, I would like to put your creations on my menu." "Really?" asked the wide-eyed boy with pink hair. "Wow," said the girl with ponytails. "Wow, wow, wow." Word spread far and wide about all the wonderful pink food and about the boy with pink hair. Soon he made lots and lots of friends. And the boy with pink hair also discovered that his mother was right. His difference did make a difference. Only his difference was not his pink hair. Not really. His difference was that he followed his own special dream and was happy to be just who he was. To just be himself. One boy with shockingly bright, beautiful pink hair made the world a little happier and a little more pink. And that's a really great thing. All right. So, boys and girls, let's look at our chart. What was the problem? I would say there were a couple problems in this story. The first one was the boy with pink hair was what? What did people do to him? If you're watching this with somebody, you can tell them, or you can pause it and talk about it. The boy with pink hair was what? He was being teased or bullied. He was being teased or bullied. Another problem in the story was the oven at the school stopped working and they didn't have any food. Okay, so I think those were our two main problems in the story. The boy with pink hair was being teased and the oven at the school stopped working and they didn't have any food. So what did the character do and say and how did they feel? So when he was being teased, did he really say anything back to them when he was being teased? No. In the story, he kept quiet and ignored them. Sometimes it's best to ignore when people say mean things, boys and girls. Sometimes you have to stand up for yourself too, but in his situation, he just ignored them. They weren't hurting him, so it was okay, and he just ignored them. What does the character do? He decided that he was going to make friends anyway and do what he loved to do. So what does the character do? He made friends with a little girl. He also continued to cook and be himself. So he didn't change because of what other people were saying. Even though they were making fun of him, he decided he was just going to keep cooking and doing what he loved to do. And how did he feel? How do you think that made him feel being teased? Let's look at our chart of feelings. I think that he probably felt sad. And I would say that it hurt his feelings. So let's use the word hurt. Whoops. So he felt hurt.